The first message came as I was filing the last spreadsheet of the night. She's in the hospital. Come quickly. I dropped everything. My chair scraped across the office floor as I ran to my car, my phone vibrating with missed calls. None from her, all from our neighbor, our friends. Her mother. My chest throbbed with a mix of fear and guilt. I hadn't been home all evening. I had stayed late at work with my manager, helping finish a project that wasn't due for another week. I'd promised myself I was doing it for us, but now it felt hollow. When I arrived at the hospital, the fluorescent lights stung my eyes. Nurses moved briskly, beds shifted, machines beeped. And there she was, lying pale under a thin blanket, her face tight with pain I couldn't reach. I didn't think it was serious, I stammered. Her eyes met mine, but something was off. Something in the way she looked through me, past me, made my stomach sink. You weren't here, she said softly. The words hit harder than the news of her illness itself. I wanted to defend myself, to say I had stayed late for our future, for the house, for her. But her gaze, disappointed, distant, made my excuses taste like ash. Over the next few days, I visited her whenever I could, sitting quietly while she rested, holding her hand, whispering reminders that I loved her. And yet, something was wrong. Subtle things. The way she would check her phone under the covers, the sudden hush when I walked into the room, the way her smile faltered when our friends called. I questioned myself first. Had I missed the signs of her sickness? Was I too absorbed in work, in ambitions that didn't matter when she was as fragile? My guilt swelled, knotting my chest like a vice. Then came the messages. At first, I thought I was imagining them. Tiny inconsistencies, strange pauses in conversations, missed calls that were never returned. One night, I saw a notification flash on her phone, a name I didn't recognize. She quickly turned the screen away, mumbling something about hospital staff. My heart lurched. Doubt seeped into every memory. The text she would delete, the phone calls she would take in the kitchen, the whispered laughter in rooms where I thought I was welcome. I began to replay moments in my head. The small kisses that felt routine, the hugs that were fleeting, the way she sometimes seemed elsewhere even in our bed. Weeks later, I found the envelope sitting on the kitchen counter when I returned home after another late shift. My name, written in her neat handwriting, stared at me. Divorce papers. I froze. My hand shook. My first instinct was to call her, to demand an explanation. But the silence of the apartment swallowed my voice. I opened the papers slowly, almost afraid of what I would find. And there it was, the truth written in legal language, but sharp enough to cut through every memory we had shared. She had met someone. While I was staying late, while I was trying to provide, while I thought we were holding on, she had fallen for someone else. The betrayal hit in waves. Rage, confusion, heartbreak, and then a strange, cold clarity. I remember the night she smiled at her phone in the dark, the sudden errand she had needed to run, the distance that had grown like a shadow over our home. It wasn't just this moment. It was months, maybe years, of things I had ignored, things I had blamed on stress or miscommunication. I didn't confront her immediately. I couldn't. I sat with the papers on the kitchen table, tracing the lines with my finger, letting the gravity sink in. I thought of her hospital bed, of the worry I had carried, of the nights I had lain awake imagining her recovery. And now, all of that was tinted with a betrayal I hadn't suspected. When I finally saw her again, she was waiting in the living room. Her eyes were filled with remorse, but her hands trembled as she gestured toward the papers. "I didn't know how to tell you," she said. "I didn't want to hurt you while you were trying to support me. I didn't plan for this to happen." Her words were soft, trembling, human, and somehow they cut deeper than any accusation. I felt the weight of our shared history, of the love that had been real, of the mistakes, of the moments we had missed. "I loved you," I said, voice barely above a whisper, even when I didn't understand what was happening, even when I stayed late to try to make things right. "And you chose someone else." She nodded. Tears ran down her cheeks. "I'm sorry. I never meant to betray you like this." I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The papers on the table said enough. The silence between us said enough. In the weeks that followed, I packed my things, sorted the memories that now felt like shadows, and began to rebuild. Some days, the pain pressed on my chest like a weight, and I thought of the love we had lost, the life we had imagined together. But I also felt something else, something quieter, stronger, a sense that I could survive this, that I could carry my dignity forward, that I could one day trust and love again. The divorce papers told the story I hadn't wanted to read, but they also gave me clarity. Love is fragile, but self-respect is unbreakable. Pain is heavy, but so is growth. And so I stepped forward, leaving the past behind, not with anger, not with hatred, but with the quiet strength of someone who had loved, lost, and chosen to rise anyway.